Desmond here from Performance Destination. If you're looking to have your car tuned, whether it's on the dyno or remote, reach out to us and see what we can do for you. We meet the needs on all computer systems.
So, S2000 here, from Clearwater side, Florida. He's been having a lot of drivability, starting issues, firing issues, idle issues, extremely rich at all conditions. So he brought it here. I'm gonna fire it up and test it, see how it runs as is before I make my changes, because I want to see the things that these customers are talking about first before I make my changes. It'll kind of help me better understand what things needs to get corrected and what's not set up correctly. So I'm gonna test it out. Cold start as is, E85.
That's crazy. That's 8 AFR, pegged all the way to 8. That's too rich. So when it comes down to setting the base timing or just tuning in general, the base timing has to be set correctly. This guy came in with his car not running over 6,000 RPMs, breaking up. I had to set the base timing to get it right. This way the car knows how much ignition timing to give it, or you don't want to be under timing or over timing. You want to give it exact timing that you commanded on the ECU. So when I went to go do it, the timing was off and now it's on. So let's make some power. This is a perfect looking spark plug. The burn quality is how it needs to be. The strap has a good burn to it. The center has a good color to it. The threads is not fully dark, so it's not getting too hot. This is exactly what your plugs need to look like. So we just finished with this customer's car. I'm gonna call it early on it because while we fire it up, I started smelling a sweet smell, and then the turbo was on its way out. So you'll see a little bit of cloud of smoke from the turbo, and then it'll stop. A little bit more cloud of smoke from the turbo, then it'll stop. AFR was running good, engine was sounding healthy, it was sounding good. But if we jam on it and the turbo's already hurt, it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna be any good. He's rocking a Pulsar 64 millimeter Pulsar turbo. It did good, 710, and it's nothing to slouch about. But just gonna end it short today. We're gonna actually head back so where he can kind of go over the car, go over the setup, kind of either get a new turbo or get it rebuilt, and this way we can make some healthy power and not force it to make power. So the car was on its way of making power. We stopped it at 710, 452 foot-pounds of torque. It was roughly like 38, 39 pounds of boost on this Pulsar turbo. The curve is still climbing. It hasn't even rolled over yet. So like the car is still wanting to make more power. But the problem is he was running too close to his map sensor limit. Now I don't want to ride him too close on the limit of his map sensor, because then whenever the weather change where it's cooler outside, or if he just automatically just had like a little spike in boost or 2 or 3 or 4 PSI spike one day by accident or whatever, by the weather conditions, I don't want him to already be too close riding to the line of his boost cut, because he's just going to be tapping his boost cut, and we don't want him that. We need to have him on a 5-bar map sensor. This way we can set the ceiling a little bit higher. This way we can make the power, but it's not going to ride too close to where his cut is. This way it can make power, and if the weather changes one day, 2 or 3 more pounds increase from time to time of a little spike, it ain't gonna hit the cut. It's still the cut. The ceiling's still a little bit higher, so it's still good. But this is good spot to stop at. He came in with the car breaking up, and we wanted to go through it. We wanted to see what was what. The car wouldn't go over 6,000 RPM. So obviously now we're at 8251, and the car, like I told you, torque is still climbing, horsepower is still climbing. It hasn't rolled over yet. I think with a higher map sensor as is on a full run, we're probably going to see like 780, 790 out of this Pulsar turbo. And then with a bigger map sensor, who knows? We might be able to see 800. So I think this is a good start for him. He's happy. I'm happy. Everything kind of just stayed together on it, and we will see what it does in the next episode of this car, and we'll see how much more power we can make and how much more we can turn it up. Shout out to Mainline Pro Hub, always helping, keeping traction on these cars. The more power I give it, the more the horsepower and the torque is going to jump up. But because I have it on a hub dyno, I don't worry about him on tires. He came with dyno tires for traction and whatnot, but he didn't know I had a hub dyno, so we put on the hub dyno. This way the car can have full traction at full power. It don't matter what. I could get on the launch control and launch this thing, and it's always going to hook. It's always going to hit. It would never give me a dyno wheel spin. It will always gradually carry the power band however I want it. So Mainline did a good thing on this.
crazy thing is, it's not really spinning because of the fucking tires.
Yeah, it stays. Yeah.
This is Desmond Pierre back again with another car, another session. Something a little different this time. Got a customer come down from Clearwater, Florida. His Honda S2000. He's been battling some issues with this thing where he once had it tuned, but then the car was breaking up. 6,000, 5,800. Car kept on breaking up. He was telling me about it. So, he brought it in. We kind of went over everything, kind of cleaned up everything in a way of transitioning it to like a brand new start. Car started picking up power. It started performing very well. It started spooling quick. It started hitting hard up top. It really started screaming, but like the car itself had a lot of bugs on it, so it took a little bit longer on this session to get it all ironed out. Today we finished him right at 710, 452 foot-pounds of torque. He's on a Pulsar turbo, so it's a Pulsar 64 millimeter, and the car did good. The turbo did good for what it is. Now the power band is picking up, but it didn't lay over yet, so that means the power band is still climbing. It still wants to make more. I let off early on these runs because the turbo started smoking. So the turbo started actually filling with oil, and it started smoking from the turbo. So I told him, is either we end the sessions early now and you get your turbo replaced or get your turbo fixed, because I don't want to jam on it and actually hurt it even more than what it is. This way we can have everything live for another day. This was roughly right around 38, 39 pounds of boost. And I easily think by the next pull I would have did, going all the way out, probably around 92, a little bit more pounds of boost, it probably would have been like 800, low 800s as is on a full run. I let off early on it because I just didn't want to keep going if there's an issue with it. I'm not the kind of person that sees an issue and we tune around it. We're either going to fix the problem or then we're going to move forward, and we're not going to move around it. So either if we have to stop a session and pick up on another day, I'd rather do it that way than we do any band-aid fixing. But overall, we went on the street, man, and this thing is riding. Every single gear he hit, at least on my side of the screen, was all blur vision. Like, it was screaming, it was hitting, and the crazy thing is, it took all the power because he came on drag radials. So like, it had no spin on the street, no nothing. We set him up by boost by miles per hour, and we also did it boost by gear. So at a certain miles per hour, it will kind of ramp in how he wants it, and he also wants to go to the track and see what this thing does. So we also set it up for a boost by gear. This way he's able to launch it, and it had progressive boost by the gear he's in. This way, you don't gotta worry about traction and whatnot. So, but overall, this car had a great time today. Customer had a great time today. It has been a long day, but it's been a successful day because we finished it, made the power, overcame the issues that he came in on of breaking up and sputtering and just not be able to rev all the way out. I could rev all the way out as far as I want now with this with no issues. So how we came in before, we couldn't do that. We went on the street, car ripped. We went from second gear, third gear, fourth gear, let off, and it's crazy. It's crazy how at a setup like his, and we're not even finished with it yet. I still want to work the torque. I want the torque to come in a little bit sooner, a little bit harder, and then still let the horsepower and the whole power band kind of carry all the way out. I'm still was trying to build the power band on this car, but even though for as is, this car is screaming. It feels so good. It sounds so healthy. The turbo comes on nice. I'm not much of a Pulsar turbo tuner. I think this is probably like my second Pulsar I've ever tested and whatnot. Usually I kind of stick with the brands, and but we're gonna try, we tested this out, but he wants to upgrade to a Precision Next Gen. So the Next Gen 6470. So automatically I already know with the Next Gen technology on the same boost level, this is probably gonna be close to 900. Or high 8s, 890, 880 at the same boost level, I feel like. So we're gonna see. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna kind of revisit all this again, and and kind of go through it. Customers on an AEM V2 ECU, ID 1700cc injectors. Now let me say something. It's very important and crucial setting up these cars with the correct injector data. So he told me his car always ran rich. Always ran rich, always ran rich, always ran rich. So I go through, before I upload my file to it, I go start seeing what's going on with it. The injector settings on this was not beforehand. It was not for ID 1700s. I don't know what settings it was for, but it weren't for ID 1700s. As soon as I input the ID 1700s, the whole entire car turned off and went full lean. So I kind of went over that, showed it to him, and then we uploaded the file I had for it, and then with the correct ID 1700s, and it was good. Also, another limiting factor he had a 4-bar map sensor. Him running at 39 pounds of boost, 38 pounds of boost. The Omni 4-bar max on that is about 43 and a half. That ceiling is too low for the boost that he's running. So that means in colder weather, it may run too close to that ceiling, and it might hit a cut. Might hit a cut. So like I want to put his cut just a little bit higher, but he's already maxed at where he can go for his cut, because the car is already making like 39 pounds of boost, and he's already almost there, and he's at the cut's at 43. So on a cold day in summer or wintertime, he may see 2 or 3 more pounds of boost, or it may hit a little bit harder sooner, and it may make more boost sooner. So I want to be able to be in control without it hitting a cut. So we're also going to upgrade that to a 5-bar. This way we can play around with the ceiling of the cut, and this way he's not riding that limit. You never want to ride that limit, because it's just going to be, you're going to come, this is going to be your cut, and you're going to cut, the boost's going to curve in, and then it's going to go like this. It's going to be bouncing on it, or it might hit it and drop it, and it might try to pick back up and hit it again and drop it. You don't want that, especially not if the car is underneath a high RPM, a lot of boost. You just don't want to be hitting that cut. It's not good for the motor like that. So we're going to upgrade that to a 5-bar. This way we have more room and more play for not only for more power, but for the health of the setup and the health of the motor. If you too would like to work with us just like how he did, whether it's on the dyno, whether it's on the hub dyno, all-wheel drive dyno, remote tuning, whether it's travel tuning where you want me to come to your country, your state, your island, you can reach me at 941-268-7493, or catch me on all platforms on social media at Performance Destination. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, tell us what you think. Till the next video. Have a good day.